there was so much controversy leading up to this show and leading up to it. All the talks about how they weren't following Tolkien's work, all the race swapping and all of this stuff, and how they wanted to make it more modern and inclusive and all of this and the other. And yes, I put in my 2 cents and I said that, the work that J.R.R. Tolkien did with Lord of the Rings and the time period was set in and the fantasy realm was set in and all of this thing should be adhered to, and you shouldn't try all these diversity swaps and all of this changing characters to fit the mold. I said no, that shouldn't have been. Fine, I said it. And then I sat down and I watched the first 4 episodes of Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and oh my God, this show is so boring and dull. Absolutely boring and dull. Nothing about it makes you want to watch. It's like it's like you literally wasted $1 billion. That's really the only way to put it. You wasted $1 billion. The show is just downright. Let me just go through a few things and tell you what it is going on with it. First off, we have to talk about Galadriel. And I have to say it that way because they emphasize throughout the show that's the correct way to say her name. Galadriel, right? Played by Morfydd Clark. Oh my God, you could not get a more horrid acting performance out of anybody. Honestly, Galadriel is the definition of an elf Mary Sue. That's it. You literally put her in there to be strong, no-nonsense warrior woman who doesn't even really have any reason for what she's doing. Her brother got killed or something like that fighting in a war, and she took up his mantle, and she's not going to stop and climbing up mountains and lead her or something. And you don't actually give a shit because none of it really makes any kind of sense. And the more the show goes along, the more you get to see her, the more you just get sick of her. Honestly, Morfydd Clark's portrayal of Galadriel is just terrible. Her acting is wooden. Her facial expressions are just kind of bland. And you just wonder what in God's name is actually going on. Everything you sit down and you watch this show, you have one thought going through your mind. When is something going to happen? She supposedly fighting this, when they made up this kind of troll thing, and I mean the monsters look terrible. The monsters really look terrible. But when she's fighting the troll thing and they do that whole thing where she launches off the sword and cuts it and it's supposed to be so heroic, you're sitting there thinking to yourself, when is something going to happen? A man literally falls from the stars. He apparently has magical powers and doesn't speak any kind of language and could communicate only using kind of magical thing. You're still wondering to yourself, when is something going to happen? Every person in this show is so predictable. Every character is extremely predictable. You know exactly what's going to happen before it even actually happens. After all that fighting and all that thing Galadriel has done that nobody really cares about, they decide for her and the rest of her warriors and things to go back to their own sacred elfin land that's kind of like paradise, whatever. I mean, you pretty much knew she wasn't going to go back. She jumps off the boat and decides she's going to swim back to Middle Earth for some god-awful reason. I don't know. The whole thing is just a waste of time. It's done for some reason because apparently you want to see Galadriel wet for some reason. So you've done that, and then everything that happens is just pretty much for standard with the cause. The guy who she meets and has this little interaction with, clearly he has some big destiny that he doesn't know about. You know that. The black elf that is in love with some human woman and all kind of thing gets captured by the orcs. You know that's going to happen. I mean, to be honest with you, the racial swapping and thing was a big point of thought, but you don't even really notice it. I mean, yes, you notice it because you're seeing it. You're seeing them there. You're seeing the black dwarfs. You're seeing the black elves. Look, I think you see it, but you don't really notice it because it's heavily overshadowed by the terrible acting, the poor storylines, and the fact that the entire show is just dull and boring. They spent the entire $1 billion budget making these landscapes and showing these towering arches, and even when you go to the dwarfs and them and the underworld, the underground kingdom and thing, and they have like elevators and all kind of stuff, and it's all very captivating to the eye. Well, some of it, most of it just looks fake as hell, but when you see all of that, you're like, okay, wow. And apparently they expected that to somehow, twinkle in your eye, and you'd forget how just downright terrible this show really is. And it's downright terrible. You look at it and you keep wondering to yourself, when is something going to happen? What is this about? Why should I care? And the reason is you really shouldn't. This show is dull and boring and pandering, and you know exactly what's going to happen. The entire reason that they completely changed Galadriel's story is to portray her as some strong, powerful warrior woman. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Morfydd Clark's portrayal of this character is done terribly. And it's not only her, pretty much everybody is done terribly. You have the half elf Elrond, waste that time. You have other people, the dwarf queen, and all a bunch of other people in it, and you don't really care because all of their acting is just wooden, very, very wooden. Like it's like none of them thought to put any kind of actual, energy into anything. They figured that all they had to do is just sell the name Lord of the Rings, and that's good enough. I'm telling you honestly right now, I am not doing any kind of review for this Lord of the Rings thing. I'm not doing it. I actually thought I'm going to be watching any more of it. I just find the entire show, I've given it 4 episodes. It is dull. It is boring. I mean, the monsters don't look very good at all. The CGI doesn't look very realistic. It looks kind of crappy, to be honest with you. They spend the majority of the budget on all the landscapes, on all the different architecture, on all the different this and the other. But the story suffers because you don't care. That's the only thing about it. You just literally don't care. And you have House of the Dragon and the other things beating it because it's just done terribly. And what did Amazon do? They tried to hide the ratings for it. Then apparently was the whole talk about them paying people to like it. All kind of drama. I'm not getting into that. I don't know, but I'm just telling you from my opinion of having watched 4 episodes of this dull, boring, pandering nonsense. That's it. That's it. They didn't care about the story. They didn't care about doing anything good. They just made crap. That's all. That's my opinion. It's just nonsense. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. If you see it and you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. Be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.